Welcome to Brownsville Minute, a community-conscious conversation and a platform that provides information, wellness, love, and unity all on a digital platform. And our goal is to try to make sure that our community residents are informed, conscious, and that we are connecting the dots on a virtual platform. The Brownsville Minute is designed for everyone. Please join us with the Brownsville Minute. Well, hello there, good people. We are back. We are back with another episode of the Brownsville Minute. I have the distinct honor of welcoming you to a series of conversations that are youth-led, specifically about the need of understanding mental health, which we are learning. And what I've come to believe as well, that it has been elevated as a result of us being on lockdown during the pandemic. And so with that, the stigma, especially within communities of color, are currently dealing with a number of societal pressures, dealing with the space of how to get well. What does that look like? How am I taking care of myself? How am I going to be happy? What does happiness look like? What does my money look like in this whole space? All of these things have a deepened impact on all of us, not just young people, but us holistically all over. And so today, I am really excited because we are going to be normalizing the process of having conversations of what mental health looks like, what being in a relationship with self and self-love looks like, and also, talking a little bit of specs about, money wellness and what that looks like from the perspective of our youth ambassadors. I've had the distinct pleasure of hosting a group of dynamic youth who are leading the way in discussing things that matter most to them, specifically in the space of being well, being mentally well, and being healthy, all connecting in a space of showing love within themselves and for others within their community. So I am going to introduce the youth squad, the youth ambassadors of 11375. They are, as you will see within this series, really open, dynamic, and leading the way as they should within this space and conversation on mental health. So I'm going to be behind the scenes, smiling, cheering them on as they lead this discussion specifically in this space. So I'm going to just bring them to the table. Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
Aren't they beauties?
Hi.
All of them. And so I am going to step behind the scenes and the conversation is going to begin. I hope that you enjoy and, really deepen conversations about this space of what it means to be mentally well, and also providing tips and resources that you can use. So bye-bye.
Alrighty. Welcome to the Brownsville Minute. My name is Jolie Riley. I am an SYEP ambassador with 11375, and I'm here today with other SYEP ambassadors. And today we are going to be discussing how to be well as a young person. We are going to use this conversation to stress the importance of mental health in everybody, but today we will be specifying the importance of mental health in young people. And we are experiencing a heightened awareness of mental health concerns, and we are seeking tips to assist us in this process of being well and how to navigate. I'll let my co-moderator, Tyrone, continue with this discussion.
Good morning, everyone. First, I want to thank my co-moderator, Jolie. That was a great introduction. kudos to you. And just to piggyback off what she said, we will be talking about mental health and also about how to enjoy your life while being single. Because a role can be painted where young people are pressured into being into relationships and that's the only source of happiness. And I just want to say that's not true. You can be happy by yourself or even with a partner. And I also want to thank everyone for showing up this morning, everyone for being here, and let's just have a good conversation. Okay, first we're going to talk about mental health. Do any of you guys have a definition for mental health?
I think a definition for mental health would be something like something that you go through, like an experience that you go through, but is dealt with the way you try to overcome it and try to move forward with it.
Okay. Have any of you guys ever faced a mental health problem that you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, like sometimes we feel that it doesn't like always happen. There's something you have to go through when you have mental health. So yeah, like it's a big problem. I think everybody has one of these. Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, I dealt with it before, like school, because school is could be very stressful at certain times, and then the classes you got to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah,
Definitely
keep
during
going.
quarantine. I feel like quarantine was really a trying time.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I agree. I think for
Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
oh, it's fine. I was just gonna say, I think for young people, the biggest contributor to our mental health and whether or not we are in a good state is definitely our schools. Um, especially with the pandemic, I think many students saw their mental health deteriorating
Anna.
by being online and like not being able to like connect with people, especially now since like a lot of us have graduated and we're going off to college. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's important that we take notice of our mental health in these times.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, sometimes colleges can be stressful. The things.
Yes, the college application, having to apply to different colleges, seeing who accepts you, the payment, the amount you have to pay just to go to college. It,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah, sometimes because of that, like you can't go to the college you want. Like it can be a pretty big problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, also with the in-depth stuff, you can be in-depth even after you're done with college, even when you're in your 50s. Like, sometimes you can't even pay that off, so, yeah.
Well, but
Mm-hmm.
what you guys are saying, I also felt like my mental health was tried while in school, because I feel like Jody said, when I was in, sorry, like Jolie said, when I was in school, I felt like I was kind of like at the top of my game, and I felt like through quarantine, I felt like I was kind of losing myself, and I didn't have that type of complex that I usually would have, like the my determination to try to do my best wasn't really shown through the virtual broadcast, and it just wasn't a good year and a half for me. But I felt like I came through it, and we only can work on the present right now. We can't go back through the past and change it.
Can I also add on, like, in quarantine, I was very depressed. Like, that was when I was at my most because, that was when I was at my lowest because my family members was dying. I was away from the world. And when I was away from the world, I just didn't know what to do because, like, you know, it was
Yeah,
very hard. I couldn't interact.
Yeah, I feel like interaction is like a human need that we all need.
yeah, I agree with what Maddie said. It was like everything was bad. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't get a haircut. You couldn't go outside, or like you'd be scared that you'll catch the COVID. And many people was dying, so you didn't even want to go outside at that. But and a lot of people went through stuff while through quarantine because it was a very long process. People lost family members. People gained weight. I mean, yeah.
But how did you guys like combat that? How did you guys try to like better your mental health going through the process, or just like find some happiness while being in quarantine?
Yeah, like
Me,
being with family. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
being with family, like discussion and like have a conversation with them. Yeah, that was a good time. Like you can't spend time with your family in quarantine. Yeah, yeah, Maddie, you can go.
me personally, I was on these apps, these social media apps. They actually helped me. They actually, they actually made me laugh a lot of times during quarantine, and I also learned how to do nails and makeup on this social media on these social media apps. So yeah, that is what kept me occupied and good during quarantine.
What kept me happy around that, because I didn't really do nothing, but I just like stayed up real late, like during quarantine. I stayed up real late at night, and I usually would binge watch Netflix, and I would get through them so quick because, like, I mean, I had all the time.
Um, Binge watching with my family, I kind of feel like that helped. Just that like actual time, spending time with my parents and with my brother. Like we watch movies, we watch TV shows, and I feel like before quarantine, we really didn't have time to do that. But since we were all trapped in a house, it was no other choice. And I feel like that played a pivotal role in like creating a bond with us, creating a stronger bond with my parents and my brother.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, like spending time with family, socializing is a really big part in how people helped their mental state during the pandemic. And also like having a hobby, or well, not having a hobby, but just having something that you can put your attention on, like, like Taj said, binge watching like a series, or like Maddie said, being on like social media apps. Just having something that you can not project onto, but that you can just spend your time on, outside of like reminding yourself like, oh, I'm in a pandemic, I can't do anything else. Just
Hmm.
creating something where you can have your own little space. I think that was like really important for people during the
Hmm.
pandemic. And like even in everyday life without pandemic, it's really important to just have something where you can like zone out for a little bit.
Yeah, because the pandemic was very stressful for a lot of people. I would say, like, you couldn't, like, you would just sit in the house and like you would think to yourself, oh, this is so terrible. I'm just getting uglier by the day. I mean, you haircuts, you couldn't.
But through that trying time, I also feel like I learned some things about myself, and I feel that was good. Like I try to like look at the positive. Like it may not have been the best, but it kind of helped with certain schools. Like I didn't have to take certain AP tests at the end of the year. I didn't have to take the ACT, I think it was. So I just try to look at the positive. Try to
Yeah.
look at the positive, focus
Me
on the positive,
too. I
because
want
I
to
think
add
it's
on.
always some good in something.
Yeah, me too. I want to add on. I learned that I could paint and I could draw during quarantine.
Oh,
Yeah,
Maddie,
I actually,
for that,
huh?
Maddie,
Huh?
we gonna have to see some of your paintings.
Yeah, I showed them one.
So when do you guys feel like you first heard of mental health?
I didn't hear about it that much, like, in quarantine, really. It was the thing, but like, it wasn't really like talked about, I would say, as much. Like, people's state of mind, it wasn't really as much talked about. I didn't hear about it that much. I heard about it like when quarantine hit really hard, people started going through stuff, losing people.
Yeah,
Mm,
you feel the
Yeah,
mental health. Yeah, more than like you bring a conversation. Like you face it. Mm.
yeah.
yeah. Like before I became heavily on social media, I haven't heard it before, like in real life. But like when I started like interacting with more people and being more on social media, I learned more about mental health on social media. Like it
Yeah,
took I don't really have people to talk about it with, like in real life. So yeah.
I think you could all say social media played a role into educating us in some type of way about mental health. So, going through mental health problems, do you guys feel like there's necessarily a cure for mental health?
I would say like I would say kind of sort of yeah. Yeah, I think it's a cure. Like you just have to deal with it over time. Don't get too stressed out about it and like don't try to like what can I say? don't try to like avoid it or hide it. Like be like express yourself, because if you express more, then I think that you deal with it better. Like if you could find somebody to talk about it with, then I think like certain problems would be better because you feel like somebody's there for you and care about you.
Mm-hmm.
I think like if you share your feelings with, then like you're gonna feel better from inside when you share it to somebody instead of like hiding it between you.
Yeah, letting that
I
problem. Yeah, I feel like letting someone else know definitely helps because I feel like it's not all that pressure on you, and you
Yeah,
can kind of like lean on them to help you in some type of way.
I do feel like it's a care, but I don't feel like it's the same care for everyone. Like different ways to help everyone with their mental health. Like one way some person can express themselves, one way is self harming, even though I know it's not like a good thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yes.
it's healthy to take a break every now and then because um, dealing with all of it nonstop can be a threatening situation, especially if you feel like you can't escape. So just giving yourself time to breathe now and then is a good thing to do.
Yeah, and also I just think that it's better to keep all of it in like a close space for only yourself, because I feel like that's like worse than like not about it. I think if you just keep it all to yourself, then it's gonna, and like you might want to harm yourself, and
Yeah, if you keep it all in, you might just burst.
yeah.
And that's probably not always a good thing. Well, we all can say that we experience some type of mental health problem. Have you guys ever experienced like a close friend or someone really close to you going through mental health? And if you did, what did you do to try to help them?
Well, I experienced a friend going to help us. It was just like we were in middle school together, and after we graduated, she was supposed to go to college in Brooklyn, but she moved to Island, and she wasn't in the right moment when she first moved. Didn't like her. But every day I would talk to her like on the phone. Like if she had lunch, if she had time, I was trying to make sure I talked to her. Tell her how to make some friends so better. Her experience could be better, so she don't gotta be overwhelmed by the stress. But as time went on, she found friends. She's doing great. She's good. Everything's okay.
I did have a
That's great.
friend suffering. I did have a friend suffering from her mental health, but at the time I did not know how to help her because I too was suffering with my mental health. So it was kind of a rough time for both of us, but we both overcame it as time came along. You know.
I feel like I also can relate to you guys. I had a friend that was going through mental health problems. This was during the heart of quarantine, and we both were like scholar students before going into quarantine. But within the middle, he kind of like lost himself. A lot of his grades were slipping. He were he would usually round about like having like 90s in class, being at the top of his classes. But within quarantine, he had like 60s, 50s. He was failing classes, and he just didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to do homework. He didn't want to appear in virtual classes. And what I tried to do to help him, I kind of just tried to talk to him about it. But what I recognized was that like I couldn't do much. I kind of like had to let him go down that journey by himself. And I felt like at the end it helped him because when it was time to like when grades were being finalized, he did more and he made sure his grades went up. So I feel like with mental health problems, you can't always necessarily jump in and help someone because it may not help them in the long run. They have to experience it themselves and they have to go through it themselves.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
I
for some
completely agree with what
people,
you just said.
yeah, go on.
You can go first. It's fine.
Oh, you can go. You can go. So,
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
what do
go. I think with what you just said about how for a lot of people they need to just experience it by themselves, and how like you can't just jump in and help people. I think that's like a very smart thing to say, and also I do agree with it because I think what's important is that you should just not you should just, but I think a lot of people kind of just need to vent a little bit. Like they just
Mhm.
need to have someone listen to what they have to say, whether it be like in person or over a text message, And even if you don't like have any response to what they said and you like don't have any advice to give them because you're like new to that situation or you've never been through it, I think it's just important that you just like listen to people, like let their stuff out. And then if you don't have nothing to say, don't say anything. Or if you do have something to say, try and help them. But like, just let people speak.
And also recognize that like everybody is different. The way you may handle something may not work for them.
Yeah, and also depending on who the person is,
Mm-hmm.
they take it in a way like they're trying to get to them. They could interpret it wrong, and like they could react differently, have the same thinking process.
Mm. Well, mental health is real. We all can see that it's a problem. Everyone faces it on a day-to-day basis. I hope everyone's mental health as of now is good. And now I just kind of want to shift the conversation about
Yes, please.
how to be about the pursuit of happiness while being single. And if you guys wouldn't mind me asking, are any of you guys single or in relationships?
No,
Single.
I am
I'm not in a
single.
relationship.
So we all single?
Yeah.
Jolie, Elijah.
Single.
Hey man, I'm single.
Damn, we all single. All right, so while being
Yeah,
single,
single.
have any of you guys like felt unhappy or felt like something was wrong with you due to like? Because I felt like at some points, me being single, I feel like with society, I kind of feel like oh, I should be in a relationship now because everyone else is in a relationship. Have any of you guys felt that way?
Yeah, it's definitely peer pressure, but at times you realize and you think like you don't need a relationship at times because you're not mentally or ready for that. Yeah, so
Yeah, most times, like, yeah, think that you should be in a relationship, but everybody, you see somebody happy, you will want that. And sometimes you would think to yourself, like, am I the problem? Something wrong with me? But being single, not people make it, it's actually feeling, it's not bad. You don't have to worry about what's going on. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
argue with your partner, that they bring on to you. It's actually not bad.
yeah, and also at times you may feel a little lonely, but that's okay because you still don't have to rush into a relationship. It's okay to be with yourself.
Yeah, self love.
Anyone else?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I
Mm-hmm.
was definitely
Yeah.
feeling a bit self-conscious about the fact that I just haven't been in a relationship. Over the course of the past couple of years, I've been learning to get better at handling that. I've been getting better at expressing myself and just processing things better.
I think I'm happy without a relationship. I don't think that's matter for me that much because like I think it's too much
That's
stress.
great.
Like to care, to do everything. Like no, man, I'm good.
Yeah, and I'm like somewhat selfish, you put it like that, but I'm not really selfish, but I'm selfish with myself. So it's like if like say if I was in a relationship like and I had to spend money on them, like I want money to go towards me. I want to spend that on I want
Facts. You That's not even being selfish. It's just like why do I have to spend money on you?
yeah, I just want
It's my
to
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
think like when you don't
oh,
text
and
her,
also
like she get angry or something, like a lot of problem happen. I
petty
think
stuff.
that's give you more depression than like a
Yeah.
mental health.
Oh, and also being single plays a long role in like self love.
Yeah, I
If
feel
you
like
don't
yeah.
love yourself, yeah, you
Before
go.
you get in any relationship, you gotta love yourself first. But I
mm-hmm.
also feel like being in a relationship is not a bad thing. Also,
Yeah, at
it's
some point like you
Yeah,
gotta be
cause
into a relationship.
yeah, cause sometimes you do need love and affection. You can't just be by yourself or your life.
but it's
Cause
just
yeah,
not a necessity.
Yeah, but let's really
Yeah.
talk about the how single life connects to mental health. No, relationships connect to health. Relationships drain you and put you down, and you have to overcome a lot of stuff. Like even like say for example, if you had a friend, if your friend was in a relationship, the friendship would sort of drift depending on the person and where they put you. If they put the relationship first, then the friendship would start to drift away, and like they would be like you would be yourself. Like you'll be abandoned by your friend, like that you knew for years or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds kind of personal, but yeah, I agree. Also to add on with that, I want to do with like attachment issues. Like after the relationship, you know how you be attached to one person, after you just don't know what to do with your life, or you like lose yourself. So it also plays a role in that, and you have to find yourself again. So that is kind of draining.
Yeah.
But I feel like when we talk about relationships, I feel like it's a bunch of different relationships, and that we should also like is other than romantic relationship, it's good to have relationships with other people just besides your partner. And I feel like that's a way you can find other happiness.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I think being I don't know if it's I'm being biased, but being your partner only friend is not a good thing. Cause why is he your only friend or she your only friend?
I agree because I saw a video. TikTok actually was explaining that like they have busy lives, like have lives outside of their, like her husband will go camp like with his friends for like 10 hours, but she wouldn't really him to see where he was at because she already knew how long it took, and plus she was doing what she needs to do. Like she had her alone time. They just had their alone time. Like, I applaud for that because they want to know where you at 24/7. Keep cool, keep all behind you face. Yeah, outside's not perfect.
Yeah, I feel like it's good to be in a relationship with first with yourself, and like being in a relationship with friends and family, not necessarily romantic, but it's some type of relationship. And I feel like a good way to like be happy is also to focus on those relationships, and especially the relationship with yourself, because I think you have to love yourself before getting into a relationship with another person, or just trying to, yeah, in any type of relationship, you have to love yourself first.
Also, like sometimes it's hard to find the perfect person. Like you can share your feelings and everything. Like that's the hard part. You have
Yeah.
to match the feeling.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely like a trial and error
Mm-hmm.
process. It may not work with everybody, and I feel like it's on your first go round. I feel like you're not gonna find the one, but I feel like it's someone out there for everyone, for all of you
Yeah.
guys.
I have wanted to
Mm-hmm.
ask you guys a question. Like, do you guys think like for single life, do you guys think single people sometimes get overwhelmed by being by themselves?
I think if you let it, I think if you let it get into your mind too much, if you kind of like trying to, like Maddie said earlier, it's not good to compare yourself to everybody. So I feel like if you try to compare yourself to everyone and you see other people in a relationship and you're not, I feel like it can get overwhelming because
Mm-hmm.
you start to,
I
like we
agree.
said earlier, think something is wrong with you. Is she too?
So I have a question. When do you guys think like you are ready? Like, what state do you think you are ready to jump into a relationship? Like mentally and physically.
I feel like I'm ready to jump into a relationship. I just trying to find that one. Not
Yeah,
necessarily trying to do it with anybody. I don't feel like I'm not ready, but I'm kind of like trying to just let it
Yeah,
happen.
I completely agree. And I think like especially with the idea of being in a relationship and like the visual of it, like like
Sometimes me personally, I feel like I'm not because I still have my selfish and petty ways that I don't think I'm getting rid of any sooner. So I'm not a really good communicator neither. So and sometimes money be tight. So me personally, I think that it's good that I'm single right now because I am not mentally or physically ready for a relationship.
I agree. I'll say like at certain moments you might feel like you're, but then at certain moments you'll be like, oh, I'm so happy I'm not in a relationship because you could see stuff, like you could see people's perspectives, and it would change your mind. Like your mind could change like every few minutes, every few seconds. Feelings change over time. Sometimes I would say so.
But I feel like that's gonna happen no matter what. So I feel like we shouldn't like have that as like something that's holding us back.
Yeah,
Maybe just have to get in a relationship and see how it goes. Cause I feel like with every relationship you go into, you learn something new about yourself.
yeah, I'm definitely ready.
Yeah, me going into college now, I feel like a relationship is coming real soon. Real soon.
You would want a relationship in college?
I mean, I'm not saying no to one.
Yeah, I feel you.
This is an experience.
Yeah. And then if you do experience, like if you experience a relationship and it go bad, you can see like what you did bad or what was wrong, or like your partner would tell you, like what's the problem with you and like what's your problems and what you don't, if you don't show love, if you don't do
Yeah,
certain.
like learn from like every relationship.
Yeah.
So do you guys all believe that like being single and being happy, like it can coexist and it can be true?
Yes, because
Yeah.
I am single and happy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Like you can be happy being single, or you can be happy being in a relationship. Like it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really your. Yeah, it really is up to you. So yeah.
Okay, a quick question I want to ask. When you guys envision your life in 10 years, how do you guys envision it? I just want to ask everybody this like one by one. Todd, you could go first.
Okay. I'll in 10 years I envision, wait, how old am I? Okay. So in 10 years, I think I'll be in a relationship. I'll be wealthy. I'll be like traveling because I'm gonna be like 27. It'll be like be living like probably yeah. I see myself talking to somebody, seeing myself having a good amount of income. I think life will be great.
Rahad?
I don't know. I can't be sure. I maybe die or not. Like I really don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay, so you can't think. You could think of something like. All right, so probably like in a, how do you envision your life within the next year?
Yeah, like I might be in a good college or in a good position. I don't know. Like it.
Mm-hmm. Jolie, I can't hear you, Jolie. I'm sorry.
Oh, we can hear you, Jolie. Sorry.
Jolie,
You try to-
oh, Elijah.
In a year, I think I can see myself being in a healthier situation, both financially and mentally. Um,
Um.
Yeah.
I think I'll be better.
Maddie, how do you envision your 10 years?
Oh, in 10 years or next year? I'm
Whatever
sorry,
one
I couldn't
you feel
hear
more
you.
comfortable asking.
Next year I should be financially stable. I should be graduating high school, and life should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'll
kind of.
maybe be in a. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll maybe be in a relationship.
I kind of see myself more graduated college, in my own a business that I have high ownership in. I kind of see myself as a boss. I see myself throughout that time. I see a relationship happening, but it's not like a key moment that I feel like, oh, like within this 10 years, this was like a highlight of the 10 years. Like a relationship won't be the highlight, but I definitely see a couple relationships within that time period.
Mhm.
Oh, yo, let's go.
Cause and yeah, in 10 years, the highlight definitely through the process of those 10 years, the highlight is not gonna be a relationship. I'll definitely see myself like living life to the fullest. Like I'll be going away and stuff. That's the highlight of it.
Yeah. It is oh, Jelly's back. Hey,
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, we can hear you now. You can answer the question
Okay,
now.
good.
My bad.
Um, what I said was, I I was basically, I said that I agreed with what Taj said, and that was also my answer. Because in 10 years, I'll have my bachelor's by then, and I'm not planning to do higher education. So I'll have my degree. I'll probably be working, and I don't know about being in a relationship, but I think I'll be happy by myself because I'm single. I'm making money. Life is fine. That's how I'd like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. Making money. That's the highlight.
Yeah.
Making money is just.
Well, I feel like that this convo we had was pretty good. And I feel like this is kind of like to the end of it. Would you guys like to say any last things before it's over?
I just want to say this is a
Oh,
great
we need to
convo,
talk
and
about
I
the.
We need to talk about money.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Being financially well.
As far as yeah, someone can go first. What was that topic name again?
I think it was like money management, right? I think so. Or like how you manage your money, how wealthy you are, how
I feel like I definitely need to work on my money management because at the state of mind that I'm in right now, I just be telling myself, "Oh, I could spend it. It's gonna come back," and I feel like I need to start saving.
I agree. And I definitely
Mm-hmm.
think start saving more.
Yes.
I spend money like I just blow it. Like I splurge. I splurge and I need that money for certain stuff. But I just got the mindset that like you gotta live your life. Like you gotta get what you want. You gotta do what you want to do.
I agree. I need to work on saving. I'll save some, but then I
Maddie,
invest
you're kind of
some.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look.
Oh, my AirPods are dying. Can you hear me though? Like, how good can I hear me?
It's like foggy and
Mm-hmm.
low. Muffled, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm bad at money management. I mostly laundry my money when I am doing laundry, like it's all white and everything.
Well,
Yeah. How much
laundry?
laundry? How much your laundry be
Yeah,
costing, Rahad?
I don't know. Like I have money in my pocket, like 20 or 100. Like I always forget to get the money out, and I launder it, and it's all wet.
Oh, well, I was drying that money.
Okay, so I think I about to ask this question. So, like, what would you describe your relationship with? Like, what's the relationship you and money have?
Money over everything.
Go again.
Yeah, who said that? Yeah, I like that. I like that. Whoever said money of everything, money is of everything. Everything.
Money hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like life revolves around money, and you cannot do anything
Yeah.
without money. You
Oh,
can't
so
wake
since
up
we're
without
talking about,
money.
let's talk about the
Yeah.
topic.
Ma-
Say, oh, sorry. When people say
you,
happiness, let's touch on that. How y'all feel about that?
could you say that one more time?
Since we talk about it, let's talk about how people say money don't buy happiness. How do y'all feel about that?
They
You
ain't
just
have
have to
enough.
worry about.
They ain't
They,
having.
I agree with.
Nah, I feel like money. Money is. I feel like money in today's America. Money is a very
I
important.
disagree.
Money, money's a very important thing, but I see where that statement is true at some point. Where like, as far as your happiness to go on for years, I mean, you can be the richest person in the world and still be unhappy. Granted, money can do a lot of things for you. I think you can do a lot of things with money, but I think you kind of do need people around you to bring happiness, not only money, but I feel like money is plays a huge role into a lot of people's happiness.
Yeah, I was like, say like, me personally, I would disagree, but like, you can't disagree with that because if somebody says that, they probably obviously have the money, but like they need something else. But like for me, like if it was me, like if I had the money, like I'll be good. But like I can't speak for everybody, so I can't like really do that. So I'll just like, just,
I agree with Tyrone. Like, money can't buy happiness. Like, that's true. Like, at some point, like, no matter how much money do you have, like, still some people aren't happy. Like, I have saw some people, like, they have money and everything, but they are not happy with like what they have. They want
Yeah,
more.
they
Yeah, they
want more.
become greedy. Yeah, they want more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, what would be like a good? What do you guys think is a good strategy to save more money?
I feel like what I need to start doing, every check that I start getting, I need to start saving at least. Damn, I was about to say 100,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I need to start saving at least about like 20% of it.
Yes. Okay.
Because I just be feeling like soon as the money hit my account, I just be like, ooh, what I want to go buy.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, that's the problem with me. If the money hit my, like, I don't even think about it. Like, if I'm about to buy something, I'll be like, oh, should I spend this money? I don't even think. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm getting paid Friday, so it's all right. I just spend it. So
Anyone else?
I think I will give it to my mom to
I
keep
think
it.
you should be saving more than 20.
Yeah, so like that way I can't like spend the money.
Right.
I have to borrow from her, so I'm just not gonna borrow. So that's gonna be like save the money.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, Jolie, you kind of went out.
Yeah.
Jolie, we can't.
Me personally,
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. She's
so. Oh, we can't hear you again, Jolie.
Jolie, we can't hear you again. I'm sorry.
it's fine. What I said was, me personally, what I do, well, what I try to do is whenever I get paid, I try to save half, and then you guys can't hear me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What I can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, uh,
Wait, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Well, can you just? We can hear you. Keep talking. Maddie, how do you feel about that?
Oh. Well, Elijah, how do you feel like your relationship is with money?
I think that my relationship with money is not really bad. I don't think I have a spending problem. I just probably don't spend as much as on
me?
essential things as I probably should.
I'm lagging so bad.
Oh yeah. Well, I need to take some tips for you because I feel like, well, my money be going as soon as I get it.
Yeah, I be having a spending problem.
Yep, that's right.
So, what's the next? What do you think? I think that we all need to think about some next steps to kind of like better our relationship with money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Rahad, what's gonna be your first step?
First step, I think don't spend it on like and excess things like that doesn't like necessary for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My first step
Sometimes.
is
Hello.
gonna be safe.
Hello.
Keep going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My first step to help me managing with money is to save it. I'm gonna definitely start saving more.
I definitely feel like I need to start saving more, but like I need it locked. I can't touch it. That's how.
Jolie, you want to try again?
Maddie, can you hear us?
Yeah, can I hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's low.
You said what?
I said, yeah, we can hear you. It's like a little.
Well, Maddie, how do you feel like your relationship is with money?
It's very healthy, but it's too healthy. I
Can
need
you
to stop
come?
doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I need to start spending all my money.
Oof, I'm
I don't
lagging
manage my
so
money.
bad.
Um, yeah. So, like, what do you think your next step with your relationship is with money?
I think that my next step is probably to just learn to spend when I really need something or want something because I really don't spend a lot.
Mhm.
That's good.
And also, I feel like I've been hearing that like a recession is coming, so I definitely need to work on money better.
Definitely.
This was fun. Being a-
Hello?
I feel like this conversation was fun. It was nice seeing all you guys' faces, and I wouldn't mind doing this again with y'all.
Yeah, I feel like we
Thank
was
you for
very
having me.
mhm,
Yeah, thank you for having me. Y'all can hear me.
engaged.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming, Madison.
Yeah, like it
Wait,
was great to heard like different people opinion about like something. Yeah, it was great.
mm-hmm. Do any of you guys have any closing remarks before we end?
Let's just all save more money.
And spend some when needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back.
Hey.
Yeah, welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, in wrapping up this very fruitful discussion, I was in the back, like just listening, beaming, and also taking some notes. But we started out our conversation specifically talking about our individual experiences in the space of mental health. So, I wanted to provide, there are some resources that we can tap into. Melanin and mental health, the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, Therapy for Black Girls, Therapy for Black Men, the Loveland Foundation, Therapy for Latinx, True Circle, and the Weight Room. These are all resources that some are free, some are, you can utilize your insurance in order to receive the support through those specific organizations. Also, some tips that came out: have the courage to talk to a professional or a trusted adult. A lot of times when we are experiencing our own personal challenges, some of us tend to retreat, some of us tend to act out. There are things that can lead to um, very unfortunate behavior, but we want to make sure that we are in a space where we are practicing and having the courage to reach out to someone when we need to do so. Meditate, exercise, drink water. We cannot emphasize the importance of taking and having a good night's rest and also drinking water and to help you through your process. There is a connection with drinking water, exercising, to improving our overall mental look. Not saying it's all perfect, but there's definitely a connection. And when you find someone that you know and love is going through something, help as best as you can, right? Check in with those that you love, either via text, via phone, if they FaceTime or whatever medium that they need to support. But also through that process, like, there are times that was mentioned, Maddie mentioned it, Tyrone mentioned, and I think Taj mentioned as well. There was times that you yourself was experiencing your challenges and you just do not have that strength at that time to help. And so prioritizing self-care for yourself, becomes imperative. So self-love is imperative, right? I also heard that being selfish is not a bad word, right? Oftentimes we hear like, oh, you being selfish. But the truth is, you are really taking time to manage and support yourself through that process. And so as we shifted the conversation into being single, I mean, I was like, oh, I remember when I was single and it was a joy, right? Meaning like you could do what you want to do. You didn't have to really account for anyone. But if you are in that space of singleness, I would say live that space with abandon. Why? Because before you jump into a relationship, you have to really know who you are, what you don't want, and how you can add value to whatever situation that you are bringing. When you are jumping into relationships, it is not up to that person to develop your happiness, to help grow your happiness, to feed you. It is for you to come together, in my opinion, to create a new space that's beautiful for you. And the first step to love is self growth and learning who you are. The process and the joy and also challenge that we have during this journey is really learning who we are intently, right? And that does not come easily. There are things that we have developed and that we've been exposed to over time that can and does cause us challenges. So it is important, imperative, in my opinion, that all of us, that we take the time to really develop who we are as an individual before we jump in and launch into somebody else's person, my opinion. And so as we have wrapped up the conversation about money, our relationship with money, some wonderful tips that came out of that space, which is save more money. If you get a paycheck, put a penny or two aside, to save for those times that are scarce. Also think about investing. Develop a better relationship and mindset about money. Money, what I know of it now is that it is a tool to allow access and opportunity for me to do things and purchase assets. That's what I know money to be for me now. Create a budget, right? So, while we have these desires to do things, creating a budget is not also a bad thing. Within the space of my personal budget, I have a line in there called BS spending, right? And it's a budget that I keep to account for me being human, because I still have habits and things that I like to do, but I'm managing it better now because I have a line within my overall personal and business budget that accounts for those things. And it's not optional. When I don't use it for that month, I invest it. That's my process. And learn and read more about money. The beauty, I say, about the internet, right? I know most people may be like, oh, social media, this, that. I still go to the library because that's just my thing. But the beauty about the internet is that you have access to learn so much and develop yourself and have learn how to become better with your relationship with money, investing, resources, and tools. So on that note, I am super proud of this group. We are looking forward to seeing what you all do in this world. At least I am, specifically because I've had the opportunity to engage with you all for this time and space. So I'm super proud of you and glad that you had the courage to participate in this activity. I know that there will be more to come in this space. So I want to say thank you so much for your day, your time, your courage, and bye bye.
See you
Bye,
soon.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Peace out.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. So The Brownsville Minute, I told you, it is one where we are experiencing and sharing and growing. This is an opportunity for you to hear from our future leaders, right? And the beauty about this entire space is that as they are talking, we are listening to help us to guide them into their future. And that's what I believe that we should be doing, connecting and listening and learning from their process and their experiences. So I just want to put out there that 11375 is hiring for 2 positions. We're looking to fill the role of a trainer, facilitator, and also for an admin. If you are interested in applying for any of those specific roles, please check us out. Email your resume over to info@eleven3seven5.com. The posting will be and is on the website at 11375.com. So we are looking forward to have anyone who has the skills and background and experience to help to support a very growing, fast-paced organization at 11375. We would love to have you and love to have you support and help to grow the business. Also wanted to share that there are a number of opportunities within a community that is needed for support resources within the community. The Brownsville Neon is looking for youth to participate in monthly stakeholder meetings. I just so happen to serve as the community co-chair for the Brownsville Neon. And so we are looking for stakeholders, specifically youth, to participate in our monthly stakeholder meetings. So if you're interested, please check out www.nyc.gov. And on that note, I really want to thank you again for supporting this process of having young people lead discussions. It is imperative to engage, to listen, and to have them be heard. And on that note, I want to thank you for joining the Brownsville Minute. Please like, share the information that you see at the Brownsville Minute. You can catch this show on 11375 on Facebook and also on YouTube. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
I tried to stand tall, but I never stood a chance. How selfish of me to want them to see me as I am. I'm over this, man. I can see the envy from under the mask they're in. How could I expect the pat on the back in a place they wanted to stab me?
What are you talking about specifically?
Why do I wish temporary feelings could last again? Why does my future need me to refer to the past again? Naysayers checking in by the minute. It's eating up in my time. And then they always need me to paint a picture after I draw the line. I'm sorry. I drifted from the question.
No problem at all.
Therapy is new for me. I don't think I've ever had a conversation that I felt included me.
Well, that's why
It's like we define things that exist without meaning. But getting back to your question, you asked, what am I thinking?
Yes.
I think so freely as I stare at this ceiling. I think the poison replaced what's meant for healing. I think depression is on the other side of elevating. I think depression hides inside those that are celebrating.
I can see that.
I think the bars that we're rapping are building our own cage. I think my father never thought about me. And what do I feel? I think rage. I think everyone around me can hear what I'm thinking, so I never blink once or think twice about over drinking.
Let's calm down.
I think it's humble of me to say that I'm the greatest. I think so much of me, but I'm taught to never say it. I think my identity exists with multiple borders, but when they can't understand it, it's labeled a disorder.
I understand.
I think the media and my social life are at a point of no return. I think they're entitled to just people that never even learn to earn.
Mister, calm down.
I think truth
Calm down.
is one thing that I know.
Let me ask you this question.
If everything you think is true, how will you ever grow? I never thought about that. Probably for my own protection. It's funny how A view of yourself can be shattered by your own reflection.